where the Southern Ocean meets ancient stone, Tasmania. Granite cliffs plunge into waters so clear they barely seem real. Mist clings to mountains older than memory, and in the quiet places, life thrives. Bennett's wallabies graze at dawn. Echidnas shuffle through undergrowth. Yellow-tailed black cockatoos call across valleys that have never known silence. This is wild Tasmania. Untamed, unhurried, unforgettable. A Bennett's wallaby pauses. Here, where wild Tasmanian bush meets the ocean, this iconic marsupial finds a quiet coastal paradise. With a wingspan matching a large gull and a beak like a fiery dagger, the Caspian tern rules the coast. The largest of all terns, they dive with breathtaking power, plunging into the surf to claim their silver prize. Its perfect curve suggests a delicate glass, but Wineglass Bay hides a dark past. In the 1820s, it was a brutal whaling station. The shallow waters ran crimson with blood, resembling a glass of red wine from the peaks above. The white-faced heron stalks the shallows with elegant precision. One lightning-fast strike, and this blue-grey hunter secures its catch. A rustle in the ferns reveals a secretive local. The Tasmanian Pademelon, smaller and rounder than its wallaby cousins, forages quietly in the shadows, a gentle, vital presence in this ancient ecosystem. A solitary wombat grazes undisturbed. This sturdy marsupial steadily works the coastal scrub. Foregoing a woven nest, the oystercatcher scrapes a simple hollow in the bare sand. Here, perfectly speckled eggs lie hidden in plain sight, masters of coastal camouflage. Two iconic silhouettes watch the coast. The laughing kookaburra, the world's largest kingfisher, typically favors the deep bush, but here they command the coast. Thankfully, the shore-based whaling industry on the peninsula only lasted about 20 years. Nature eventually reclaimed the area, and today it sits as a pristine, protected marine environment within Freycinet National Park. Named by French explorers, Freycinet's pink granite peaks echo with ancient history. From Aboriginal hunting grounds to rugged whaling stations, time has carved a wild Tasmanian masterpiece. Hidden among the damp leaf litter, the Bassian thrush is a true master of disguise. Its beautifully scalloped feathers blend perfectly into the forest shadows. It pauses, quivering gently to coax hidden earthworms and insects from the soil. Flitting through the dense understory, the tiny Tasmanian thornbill is constantly in motion. While hidden by day, come dusk, the Tasmanian Pademelon is seemingly everywhere. A flash of bright yellow in the heathland reveals the crescent honeyeater. Bearing a bold black crescent across its chest, this energetic bird flits through the Tasmanian scrub, announcing its territory with a loud, ringing call. At the edge of a quiet woodland pond, the restless grey fantail pauses its hunt. Known for its dizzying aerial acrobatics, this energetic bird briefly trades the sky for the shallows. Flutters of its wings send silver droplets flying into the air. With a final, vigorous shake of its iconic fan-like tail, the forest acrobat is refreshed and ready to fly. Unlike its mainland cousins, the Tasmanian brush-tail possum often trades the high canopy for the forest floor. Here, just steps away, this thickly furred marsupial confidently forages through the undergrowth, entirely at home on the rugged ground. To navigate the dense, thorny undergrowth, Pademelons maintain a network of hidden runways. When danger approaches, a sharp, heavy thump of their hind feet against the earth sends a vital alarm rippling through the dark forest. Hidden on the rugged edge of the Tasman Peninsula, Tunnel Bay is a secluded masterpiece of coastal erosion. Waist-deep in the cool woodland waters, a Tasmanian pademelon takes a surprising approach to its meal. Sitting calmly within the shallow pond, this stout marsupial plucks succulent aquatic grass, enjoying a quiet, waterborne feast. The pademelon is a living window into a lost world. Millions of years ago, marsupial ancestors crossed the Gondwana supercontinent to reach Australia. Before this land dried into vast open plains, it was covered in damp, ancient rainforests. In those shadows, the stout, browsing pademelon evolved, thriving in the undergrowth long before the first large kangaroos ever arose to conquer the grasslands. Winding through dense eucalyptus forests, the Cape Raoul track offers a journey to the very edge of the world. Suddenly, the canopy breaks, revealing the breathtaking expanse of Raoul Bay. Here, jaw-dropping, 180-million-year-old dolerite columns plunge vertically into the churning Southern Ocean. Carved by wind and waves, these towering cliffs are a masterpiece of raw, natural power. Standing as silent sentinels at the tip of the Tasman Peninsula, this rugged coastline invites you to step to the edge and witness Tasmania's wild, enduring beauty. Flashing an iridescent green head and rich mahogany feathers, the male chestnut teal thrives in southern wetlands. With their striking plumage and vibrant, heavy-duty bills, pied oystercatchers are unmistakable sentinels of the shoreline. But that bright red beak is much more than just a splash of colour. It is a highly specialised, chisel-like tool. Depending on their feeding ground, an oystercatcher learns to either deftly pry apart the shells of bivalves or probe deep into the wet sand for worms. And they have plenty of time to master their craft. These resilient coastal birds are remarkably long-lived, with some surviving for over 30 years in the wild. Deep in the Tasmanian canopy, a flash of brilliant colour breaks through the emerald shadows. This is the green rosella, the largest of its kind, and a parrot found absolutely nowhere else on Earth. Sporting a striking yellow breast, a crimson brow, and vibrant violet cheeks, it's beautifully adapted to this island's diverse environments. You'll find them thriving everywhere from ancient, misty alpine rainforests to coastal eucalyptus woodlands. Whether silently foraging for seeds among the high branches or ringing out its sharp, rhythmic flight call, this robust bird is a true Tasmanian icon. Echoing through the ancient eucalypt forests is a haunting, wailing cry, the unmistakable call of the yellow-tailed black cockatoo. As Tasmania's only black cockatoo, this magnificent bird commands the canopy. With a wingspan stretching over a metre, its flight is slow, fluid, and deeply majestic. Its dark plumage is beautifully scalloped with yellow, highlighted by bright golden cheek patches and a striking yellow tailband. Using massive, hooked beaks, they effortlessly crack open tough banksia cones and tear into tree trunks to hunt for wood-boring grubs. Deeply tied to old-growth forests, they rely entirely on massive hollows in ancient trees to safely raise their young. A true, enduring icon of the wild Tasmanian sky. Thriving along rugged southern coastlines, kelp gulls are incredibly bold opportunists. They are clever enough to crack open mollusks by dropping them onto rocks, and some even swoop down to feed on the skin of surfacing whales. Endemic to this island, the Tasmanian native hen is a bird unlike any other. Though completely flightless, it is a master of the ground. Capable of sprinting through the brush at speeds of nearly 50 kilometers per hour. Here, along the rugged, windswept coastlines of Tasmania, the New Zealand fur seal finds a perfect, rocky sanctuary. Graceful hunters in the Southern Ocean, they return to these shores to rest and raise their young. Swept by freezing Antarctic blasts, Tasmania can catch snow in any season. Gliding silently across the tranquil wetlands, the black swan is a striking emblem of Australia's waterways. With its midnight plumage and vibrant crimson bill, this elegant waterfowl moves with an effortless, regal grace. Highly social and fiercely protective of their cygnets, they gather in large, nomadic flocks along shallow estuaries and lakes. A uniquely southern icon, perfectly adapted to the changing rhythms of these ancient watercourses. Found exclusively in Tasmania, the ocellated skink is a master of adaptation. With striking, eye-like spots along its back, it darts among rocky outcrops to soak up the fleeting sunshine. Down where the rugged coastline meets the salt spray, an unexpected splash of colour dances among the stones. Hopping restlessly over sun-baked rocks and tangled mounds of dry seaweed, the superb fairy wren is on a tireless hunt. While usually a bird of the dense undergrowth, these clever coastal foragers know that the drying kelp is a treasure trove of tiny insects and sandhoppers. With his brilliant, iridescent blue plumage catching the bright ocean light, the male leads his small, cooperative family group along the shoreline, a tiny spark of vibrant life forever in motion against the vastness of the sea. A flash of vibrant green and striking crimson reveals the musk lorikeet. Named for the distinct, sweet scent they produce, these small, energetic parrots are constant chatterers of the woodland. Moving swiftly from branch to branch, their specialized brush-tipped tongues expertly sweep up nectar and pollen. Whether darting through the air in tight flocks or squabbling over the sweetest blossoms, they are the noisy, bustling heartbeat of the treetops. High amidst the ancient, glacier-carved peaks of Cradle Mountain National Park, the crisp alpine air carries the scent of damp earth and button grass. Here, in one of Tasmania's most iconic wilderness areas, a quiet and meticulous wanderer is hard at work. This is the short-beaked Echidna. While they are found right across the Australian continent, Cradle Mountain is a stronghold where they are remarkably abundant, often seen ambling alongside hiking trails, seemingly unfazed by the world around them. Look closely at this Tasmanian local and you will notice a distinct difference from its mainland cousins. To survive the freezing alpine winters and unpredictable snowfalls of this rugged landscape, the Tasmanian echidna has developed a thick, dense coat of golden brown fur. This extra layer of vital insulation is so profuse that it often completely conceals their sharp, defensive spines, making them look softer and rounder than their northern relatives. But there is much more to this creature than a unique coat. The echidna is an evolutionary marvel, a living relic from a deep, prehistoric past. Along with the platypus, it belongs to an ancient and highly specialized order of mammals known as monotremes. They are the ultimate rule breakers of the mammalian world, defying expectations by laying leathery eggs rather than giving birth to live young. When the tiny, jelly bean-sized baby, known affectionately as a puggle, finally hatches, it grows safely hidden away within its mother's makeshift pouch. Watch closely as it forages through the dense undergrowth. Its long, hairless snout is not just for digging. It is a sophisticated sensory array packed with highly sensitive electroreceptors. Sweeping methodically across the forest floor, it acts much like a biological metal detector, sensing the faint electrical signals of ants, termites, and grubs hidden beneath the soil. Once it pinpoints a meal, powerful, shovel-like claws tear effortlessly into tough earth and rotting logs. Then, a long, incredibly sticky tongue darts out, moving up to 100 times a minute to sweep up the prize. Despite a slow-paced lifestyle, it is fiercely resilient. If threatened by a predator, the echidna rarely bothers to run. Instead, it simply anchors those powerful claws and digs vertically into the earth, sinking like a stone in a matter of seconds until only an impenetrable dome of spikes remains exposed. Here in the shadow of Cradle Mountain, this quiet, curious, and deeply ancient survivor continues its daily search, perfectly adapted to the wild and untamed heart of Tasmania. Deep within the pristine wilderness of Cradle Mountain National Park, time seems to stand still. Here, beneath a dense canopy of ancient, cool, temperate rainforest, a living link to the prehistoric supercontinent of Gondwana thrives. Towering myrtle beech and aromatic sassafras drape the landscape in shadow, while ancient celery-top pines and giant pandani stand as silent witnesses to millions of years of evolution. The forest floor itself is a vibrant, damp tapestry of velvet green mosses and delicate ferns. Resting quietly in this lush moss garden is one of Tasmania's most iconic marsupials, the Bennett's wallaby. A distinct subspecies of the mainland red-necked wallaby, the Bennett's has evolved perfectly to suit this rugged island environment. Notice its thick, shaggy coat, which is significantly darker and heavier than its northern cousins. This dense insulation, along with a striking reddish wash across its shoulders and neck, is a vital adaptation for surviving Tasmania's freezing alpine winters and unpredictable snowfalls. As it meticulously grooms its fur, wiping its black paws over its dark muzzle and distinctive white upper lip, the wallaby is at complete ease. Grooming is not merely about cleanliness. During changing weather, lightly licking their forearms helps them regulate their body temperature. Though they often seem solitary, resting peacefully in the sheltered forest during the daylight hours, they will emerge at dusk to graze on native grasses. Their specialized, ruminant-like digestive systems allow them to extract every drop of vital nutrition from the tough, fibrous vegetation of the undergrowth. Perhaps the most remarkable adaptation of the Bennett's wallaby is its approach to motherhood. Unlike their mainland relatives who breed year-round, the Tasmanian wallabies strictly time their breeding for the late summer. Even more incredible is their ability to pause a pregnancy. If conditions are simply too harsh, a female can hold her tiny embryo in a state of suspended animation, a biological marvel known as embryonic diapause, delaying the birth for up to 8 months until the warmer days of spring finally arrive. The Tasmanian waratah bursts into brilliant crimson bloom. Deep within the shadowed understory of the cool, temperate rainforest, a vivid flash of magenta suddenly breaks the gloom. This is the male pink robin. Plump, charcoal grey, and bearing a striking neon pink breast, he flits tirelessly among the ancient, moss-draped ferns. An expert aerial acrobat, he launches into brief, fluttering flights, snatching tiny insects right out of the misty air. While his mate relies on quiet, olive-brown camouflage to protect her nest, he provides a sudden, breathtaking burst of brilliant colour against the dark forest floor. Tasmanian brush. Foraging requires a truly delicate touch. Faced with the formidable Scaparia shrub, the Tasmanian Pademelon shows no fear. This tough alpine plant is armed with vicious, needle-like leaves sharp enough to tear right through clothing. Yet, with surprising dexterity, the Pademelon's nimble paws carefully bypass the threatening spikes to reach a fleeting summer delicacy. It is after the vibrant, candle-like flowers, a rich, nectar-filled treat that tastes remarkably like sweet butterscotch, offering a perfect, sugary reward to the brave little marsupial. Long before the sun breaks the horizon, the Bennett's wallaby is already alert. Pausing on the high ridges, it looks out over a breathtaking world transformed by the dawn. Below, the deep alpine valleys are completely submerged beneath a heavy, silent sea of fog. In the distance, the jagged, unmistakable spires of Cradle Mountain pierce the pastel sky to the left. It is a fleeting, majestic moment at the edge of the world, witnessed only by the island's hardiest survivors. Rising majestically above the dark, mirrored waters of Dove Lake, Cradle Mountain stands as the undisputed crown jewel of the Tasmanian Wilderness World Heritage Area. Ancient, rugged, and completely untamed, this breathtaking alpine landscape remains a source of endless inspiration, offering a timeless sanctuary along its glacier-carved shores. Standing as a lonely, dolerite sentinel in the Tasmanian wilderness, Barn Bluff cuts a striking silhouette against the sky. Sculpted by ancient glaciers, this sheer alpine peak dominates the horizon, offering a silent, breathtaking testament to the raw power of nature. Emerging onto the sprawling buttongrass plains of Ronny Creek, a familiar, stocky silhouette begins its daily routine. This is the Common Wombat, completely in its element here in the Cradle Mountain high country. Built like a miniature bulldozer, its powerful frame is heavily insulated against the biting alpine winds by a thick, coarse coat. Slowly and deliberately, it grazes beside the boardwalk, using its strong jaws to shear through tough native grasses and sedges. Unfazed by the surrounding world, this robust marsupial remains entirely focused on the feast at hand, a quiet and enduring symbol of the rugged Tasmanian wilderness. Deep within the damp, fern-covered understory, a sudden rustling reveals an unexpected visitor to the forest floor. While usually seen soaring high above the canopy in noisy, nomadic flocks, the yellow-tailed black cockatoo will readily descend to the ground when a hidden feast awaits. With its striking golden cheek patches and massive, powerful beak, this magnificent bird is on a highly specialized hunt. It meticulously tears apart rotting logs and fallen timber, expertly peeling back tough layers of decaying wood to uncover fat, juicy, wood-boring grubs hidden deep within. It is a slow, methodical process, a quiet display of immense strength and focus amidst the lush green silence of the woodland. As the long shadows of late afternoon stretch across the rugged coastline, a subtle shift occurs in the dense coastal scrub. Seemingly out of nowhere, the thick vegetation begins to part, and the quiet, cautious forms of Tasmanian Pademelons emerge from the shadows, gathering all around to graze in the cooling twilight air. Here, at the very edge of the world, high above the churning swells of Shipstern Bluff, the southern ocean sky ignites in a breathtaking, fiery display of crimson and gold. It is a perfect, tranquil end to another day in this untamed wilderness. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and join me next time for more incredible wildlife encounters.